This is for you, Cody.
Is that my bumper?
No. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a pretty cool little project we're finishing up for a buddy of David and I. It is Seth's truck. Now Seth bought this truck. It's a Patriot Blue quad cab short bed. I believe Nick Bell is who he bought it from. This thing's pretty sweet. We just got rid of the bed stack because hood stacks are life. It's got water meth, nitrous bracket. I pulled the AC off. It had this weird titanium stack. It's got a full cage. The cage honestly looks like painted in something really cool. But yeah, so it's a full interior truck. It's got a detachable steering wheel, one of those fleece 4-gauge pod holders. And Seth is basically trying to make himself one nasty street truck. Now, you guys will probably look at this compound setup and say, wow, that looks familiar. And it should. It came off David's truck. David's doing something different with his blue truck. So we have a forced inductions 485 reverse mounted on a Steed Speed regular T6 manifold with this forced inductions 107 GT55. All the piping's already been done. It has vibrant vengeance, stainless piping, very, very pretty. Now, some of the things that we've done since we started working on it is we went ahead and redid all his coolant lines. You guys can see the DEI wrapped coolant line right there. And basically, we wrapped it around. We haven't cut any of the zip ties yet. And honestly, until we get this intercooler done, we just kind of got it laid there. And then we welded a bung to his factory 3rd gen 6.7 AC bracket and ran a nice little push lock fitting there. On this side, we knocked out all of the fuel system plumbing. So you guys can see there that nice rail return. And because of the way Seth was doing it, with what we had on hand, which is in here, we just went push lock for everything. So again, some people don't like push locks. Me personally, like I'll run it, and Seth was willing to just get it done. So that's how it ended up. He's got some push lock. It's all nice black fittings, vibrant hoses. It will hold up for a long time. Now, our project today, if you guys can kind of see here, let me get a flashlight down here, is the primary support right there. Now, the reason why this is different, this engine is not a deck plate. David's engine was a deck plate. So that means this head usually sits an inch taller, which means the turbo sits an inch taller. So we're gonna cut this Heim joint off at the end there, cut the bar down, re-weld it in. We also have a couple of transmission wiring problems that we're gonna take a look at for him. And then from there, realistically, we can start buttoning up the front end. The harness needs to be re-ran, the C1 harness. So the C1 harness is this side, it's the engine side. I need to go get him an oil pressure sensor. Once we get all that taken care of, we can get the front end put together and get this truck out of the way. And I know everyone's really curious. This is a New Performance Auto, Steve Burton built, 6.7 sleeve down to a 5.9 with a 5.9 crank. So these ones are pretty hard to hurt as far as sleeves go. And I think this one has cast pistons in it. For fueling, we have a set of DDP 400% overs that Seth provided us. And we also have a 14 mil pump from S&S. So all in all, this truck's gonna be pretty nasty. I don't know what pistons Seth has in here. If they're forged, then really this setup should go forever. If they're cast, that will eventually be its downfall. However, we're just gonna go ahead and get it finished up so we can get the shop space going. Now here you guys can see, we cut away at the Heim here. And now we can pull this out so. And we're gonna go ahead, subtract 1 5/8 off this bar here, and that will put our heim back into where it'll bolt up to there. So I'm gonna get this marked and get it cut. Now we're down here. Go ahead, swing this guy up. Look at that. Perfect. Now obviously we have the heim for a little adjustability, but that is a damn near perfect. Okay, let's get this pulled back out and weld it up. Okay, so we got her welded back up, gave her a little aerosol overhaul. Gonna let that dry. And now it is time to tackle the transmission wiring. Seth said he's got some exposed wires and some pins pulled out. Okay, so we got that bolt just kind of loosely in there. You guys can kind of see this is loose too. It's just kind of sitting here, but we got that bracket fixed. Now we're gonna go ahead and run his new drain line down here to that location right there. And then I think from there, we gotta put a fitting in the oil filter housing so that way we can get the oil feed. The little turbo is all done, I believe. Yeah, it's all hooked up. Oil feed snakes around kind of here. Back again, we got his harness all done. I always add a ground right there with a self-tapper because he does have the billet control mounts. We got his turbo drain line going together here. Try to get you guys set up so you can watch the struggle here. Just take my bigger crescent, smaller crescent. And now let's get this on the GT55. Okay, so now it makes a nice little loop there. It's looking pretty good. We got a transmission problem. So what we did was we reached out to Jeremy Gray for a repair harness to fix the anteater. One of the wires got yanked out and it like broke the terminal. So we're gonna go ahead and just put a new repair harness on that. So Jeremy Gray got that done. We went and got our new oil pressure switch installed, which is right there, you guys can see. And his fuel lines are plumbed. So basically now we are just waiting on his repair harness. And then Steve Burton's gonna come down here and get the engine primed. And from there, we're ready to go. Dude. Dave, why don't you tell everybody about your new truck you just bought? Look at this thing.
This is the same build, 2022. Look out.
It's actually really cool. It's like a brushed aluminum wrap. It's like a 11 or 12 truck. No rust. Actually, it's pretty nice inside. Clean. It's at least a Laramie. And it's on Nighthawk shocks, cool control arms, big old American Forces. And this is in here for an air dog and a sump. Get that knocked out here, but kind of just the David spilling diesel everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, just one day at a time. Okay, so we took a pause on this, guys. Sorry. We're working on this LB7, or as some affectionately recall these trucks, LB7, which I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I guess before anything else, I would drive this off a bridge and set it on fire. But we are doing compression tests. So we are down here. In full disclosure, I picked up the camera after we had done this, but you guys can see here, the glow plugs, they're right above the exhaust manifold here. Right there. And basically you thread one of them out. And then you thread this little adapter in. Okay, and then we're using this tool, which shout out to Ace Diesel. This is a Mighty Vac compression tester, and it did great. It records each cylinder. Now I did not use that function because I figured that out about halfway through, but it does record the max value, which is pretty awesome. So what this truck was doing was it was running like it was knocking real bad after Dave installed the turbo. And this is what we have. So this is the front of the engine, driver side, passenger side. So the only hole that was, it's not even that much lower. So we have a really high 378 and then 339. According to the Duramax book, this is considered acceptable. So we're gonna go ahead and get the injectors pulled out of this girl, and we're gonna get a set to replace it. So that way this guy can go back to using this truck.
What are you doing?
Why are you always so awkward on the camera?
Because it's awkward.
How is it awkward?
Why are you videoing me?
Matt said you just need to get better at this.
I'm more of a behind the scenes person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you're a social media sensation. You have 22,000 followers on Instagram. All right, now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and get this hood stack hole drilled in Seth's truck. So when it's not my stuff, I actually do care. So we got some Windex. That way we can strip all the grease off with a microfiber. And then we'll put some tape on here when we get this taped up. All right, so this is how I do it. I lay out the microfibers, tape them down. Painters tape this, and basically we're trying to prevent the shavings from getting on there. Then what I do is I kind of eyeball it, and I start with this hole here. And we know we're going a 6-inch hood stack. So what we're gonna do is kind of eyeball it, and we want this drill bit to be almost centered in the hole of the hood stack. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop a couple holes, figure out what center is, and go from there. Okay, so you guys can see here, the hole's done. And we're coming down nice and straight in the hood stack. Now, you guys will notice I kind of cheated the drill bit to the passenger side just a little bit. That's by design, because when the engine torques over, the hood stack's gonna wanna kind of go like this. So I always put them a little bit tighter to the driver's side. And again, that's by design. And then on third gens, they come down at an angle. So you guys can see there, we're a little bit towards the back. That's to allow the hood stack, as the hood comes down, the hole will be a little bit bigger on the back side there. But I'm happy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and get our hole saw set up. See if I can get you guys on like some kind of a time lapse. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the hood stack out of the way here. That way we don't have to worry about it. Also, not pictured on camera is I did put a towel on this so I didn't get any shavings in there. Let's go ahead and get this hood stack hole put in here. And here's what we're left with. You guys kind of saw it binding up a little bit. That's because you're drilling through quite a different. So like that one went really smooth, and then it kind of gets bound up when you're cutting through that second skin. I'll show you guys the piece that came out of here. And again, we'll vacuum all this out, but This is why it gets bound up when you're cutting through that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish vacuuming this out. Got his paint protected. And then once we get the truck outside, we'll just kind of blow it a little bit, but we didn't have anything open, so. Now for the moment of truth. Oh, it's already off to an unauspicious start here. Let me get this clamp tightened a little bit. Oh, like a glove. Golly, look at that, guys. That is, I outdid myself on this one. Good thing I'm actually charging Seth for this. And it actually needs to come forward a little bit. It's still loose in the clamp, but that'll work. Okay, not sure if this is gonna start because I put it together and it's got a jump box on it, but here you go. Oh God. All right, so it turns out that this plug was not on tight. I mean, that's why I make it a rule. If you put something on, you tighten it all the way. Brandon came in clutch. All right, go ahead and fire it up, Seth.
You going on this door?
No, not yet. We're just gonna make sure it runs real quick. I don't want to roll it all the way out and then it.
Fuel.
Oh man, who did the fuel system on this thing? All right, hold on, guys. Okay, it'll start. Got smoke coming out. Let's get it rolled outside. Well, guys, we are waiting on parts and some refresh tuning on this. Unfortunately, the injectors just being so different than what the original truck had and a couple sensors, it's just not gonna happen. But I know I missed the video last week. I think at least until I get kind of into a rhythm and stuff, it'll probably be one video a week. I do apologize, but I'm only one man. We are really close to getting our t-shirts done. I'm actually in the process right now of just ordering it. So if y'all could do me a favor, drop a comment down below what size shirt you would like and how many, so I can kind of gauge how much I need to buy. We are running these are going to be like the next level, kind of like the dry fit, little stretchier shirts. I really like those, so that's what I'm ordering. Anyway, hopefully you like this video. Drop that size and quantity below. And as always, guys, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.